All right, folks. Time to wake up. It may be late at night, but we're ready to rock. Here we go.
Get ready to fight from within. You're about to go behind enemy lines on We Are America Radio. War.
Roger, 3-2. Goliath copies all. Go ahead. Target is surrounded by multiple firms entering what appears to be a residential area. Requesting permission to engage.
Live from the People's Republic of New York City, you're now going behind enemy lines with Gene Baradelli and Russ Gallo.
And you are now behind enemy lines. Hey there, how you doing, America? Gene Baradelli, Russ Gallo here. Russ, how you doing, my brother?
What's going on, bro?
Let me tell you, there's a lot going on around the nation tonight. Election night in many, many places across America. Some elections matter, some don't, some more than others.
Yeah, I went to my local poll site this afternoon in Brooklyn, New York, and lo and behold, all Democrats on the ballot.
Shocking, wasn't it?
Not a single Republican running in my district.
Same thing in my area. There's maybe one or two races in the People's Republic of New York City that actually matter to the people, and we won't be talking about them on the show. So, that being said, we got a lot to catch up on. Right, for what you guys know, our new night, live, Tuesdays, 10 p.m. on We Are America Radio. Thanks for tuning in, and we got a lot to talk about. We're going to start off, though, with what everybody's been talking about, Russ, and that is that debacle of a debate on communist NBC. CNBC. The C's confused me. I'm sorry about that. But let's get into that right now, because if there was ever a time when liberal bias was on display, CNBC, thank you very much. You blew the lid off of that one. Let it no longer be doubted that there is a liberal bias and a liberal hypocrisy when it comes to any type of coverage of the conservative movement, and it was on full display during this debate.
I have to differ with you, Jim.
What? Are you kidding me?
Was there ever any doubt that there was a liberal bias in the media? No.
There may have been a little doubt. I mean, come on.
So here's who I blame. What was exposed here is the liberal bias within the Republican Party. Reince Priebus needs to be fired immediately. This guy agreed to this debate format and the moderators and the networks. This is insanity. Ever since the first debate with Megyn Kelly and Fox News, we've been trashing the way these debates are being held. These are not debates. These are gotcha question and answer sessions. The candidates barely get a chance to speak. The preface to each question takes longer than the amount of time the candidate actually has to respond to the question. These are not debates. Reince Priebus needs to be fired. I'm not even calling on him to resign. The Republican Party needs to boot this guy out. It's time to clean house. We should not agree to this type of format. The party itself should hold the debates. Some of the candidates said it, and I think it was Ted Cruz and one of them. Is there any doubt in anyone's mind that none of the moderators would be voting in a Republican primary? I mean, there's no doubt here. So why are these people asking questions of our candidates? This is not a general election. I don't even want our candidates before the American people for a general election with these moderators, let alone a Republican primary. This is insanity. The party should ask open-ended, short questions and allow the candidates the maximum amount of time to respond and lay out their proposals and platforms.
You know what? I was talking in a bar, as I normally do pretty much every day, with just some casual voters, other attorneys, believe it or not. Some that would not consider themselves conservative, more independent-minded, some even consider liberal. And I proposed the Russ Gallo school of debating, where the moderator only says one word or a couple of phrases and lets the candidates riff off of whatever they're going to say. So if you were at a debate, for instance, and Russ Gallo was running it, the moderator would go like this. First topic, Syria. And let them riff. Whatever they want to talk about, whether it be aid, funding, refugees, military action, whatever it would be, they get to riff off of it. And if someone's name is mentioned, you obviously allow time to respond. And that's all the moderator does. The moderator is the shop steward of a debate, not the focal point.
The moderator is like a boxing referee or official. Like the boxing
calling
match,
balls and strikes.
That's it, an umpire. You don't go there to watch the official. The official's in the background. They're wearing a plain black suit in most cases. No one cares about them. They're in the background. But with these debates, every moderator is trying to make a name for him or herself. Starting with, by the way, and I'm not protecting these people, Fox News and Megyn Kelly.
Well, it started with Candy Crawley, really, back in the last election in 2012.
We expect that from Candy Crawley, and it was a general election debate. Any Republican going into a general election debate knows what he's getting into. You would imagine going into Fox News, who claims to be fair and balanced, we report, you decide, would have been more fair. And for Reince Priebus to agree to CNBC and CNN and God knows who else. Is NPR doing one later on? PBS? Who knows? This is insanity.
You know what? Let's give people a sample. Courtesy of the Washington Free Beacon, who, by the way, probably puts together the best compilation videos on politics out there on the interwebs. We always go to them for our Sharpton stuff. We always go to them for different compilation clips. Here's a 2-minute and 32-second sample of what happened at the CNBC debacle.
What should we do?
What we should do is to be investing in all types of energy, John. All types of energy. And I've laid out...
Meaning government?
No, John. John, do you want me to answer? You want to answer. How are we going to do that?
Is this a comic book version of a presidential campaign?
Would you feel more comfortable if your employees brought guns to work? What is your biggest weakness, and what are you doing to address it?
So you don't want the coach to put you in anymore?
Governor Kasich, let's talk about marijuana.
Working women in this country still earn just 77% of what men earn.
They say you act like you hate your job. Do you? Now you're skipping more votes than any senator to run for president. Why not slow down? Daily fantasy sports has become a phenomenon in this country. Isn't that the definition of gambling, and should the federal government treat it as such?
We have ISIS and Al-Qaeda attacking us, and we're talking about fantasy football? Can we stop?
Senator Paul, I've got a question for you
So
on the
you don't
same
actually
subject.
want to hear the answer, John?
Senator Paul,
You don't want to hear the answer. You just want to hear the insult.
You used your time on something else.
How do we decide who gets to follow up? I've seen 20 other people follow up.
It was at the moderator discretion.
Okay. So
Governor Kasich, let's talk.
Since you're the champion of Americans living paycheck to paycheck, don't you have that backward?
No, you're wrong. People in this country.
Tax Foundation, just to be clear, they said gains after tax income.
You wrote a story on it. You had to go back and correct it. You did.
I did not.
Oh, you did.
You want to bring
Not
that
to talk about it,
70,000
not to
pages.
propose it, to get it
You want to
done.
bring the 70,000 pages to 3?
That's right, 3 pages.
Is that
you know
using
why
really
3?
small type?
So you're in
I
favor of
have not
increasing
been
that.
at all critical of him.
Where did I read this and come up with this that you were...
Probably, I don't know. You people write this stuff. I don't know where you
Is this the type of person you want to defend?
Well, this is one of the reasons why Tom Perkins and I had disagreements in the boardroom, Becky.
Becky?
Respond to that. Now respond to that.
Listen.
I'm
we're
sorry.
going to get down the line. Becky's got a question.
We'll get to everyone. Gentlemen, I'm
Becky,
sorry. We need to
Becky.
We're going to try to move on.
Let me just.
I got a question for Governor Bush.
Don Harwood, there's a bigger issue here.
Hold on, Governor. I got a question for Governor Bush.
You were on the homepage of their website with the logo over your shoulder. Does that not speak to your vetting process or judgment in any way?
No, it speaks to the fact that I don't know those ones. See, they know.
The questions that have been asked so far in this debate illustrate why the American people don't trust the media.
And how? I mean, tell me that wasn't the biggest crap show, and I can't say the word I really want to say, folks, on air, because we are on WNJC's 1360 AM, and we are FCC regulated there. The biggest crap show I've seen in politics, and that's saying a lot when we talk about politics, Russ. But I gotta say this, though. To me, this is the most extreme example of things that we've been talking about in every other debate. And I know that you're mad at Fox, and Fox, by the way, coming up with another debate in the very near future. But you have to say that Fox is, yes, all media has a liberal slant, but Fox is the most middle-of-the-road, moderate news source out there right now. Wouldn't you agree with that?
I mean, it's a pretty low bar, Gene, if you're going to say that. Fox News, so that's like saying the Syrian rebels are the most moderate Muslim group there in Syria, and we should help. Like, what are we talking about, really? The way Megyn Kelly acted, I've said this in previous shows, she's not ready for prime time. She got that nice short haircut now. She needs to move on to other things. She's not a journalist. She's definitely not a right-wing commentator or political. I don't know what she is or what she's trying to be, but her debate performance was laughable, and she set the stage where now people are just trying to top Megyn Kelly's performance. And I guess it was like seen as being all right that if Fox News was going to do these gotcha questions. Let me ask you this, Gene. In the Democrat... Are we going to call the things that the Democrats did a debate when Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton were up there?
Oh, you mean the Love Fest?
The Love Fest. Did anybody ask? Were any questions asked of Hillary Clinton about the Clinton Foundation finances, the money, the mass wealth that she's gained since Bill and Hillary were in the White House in the 90s? There were none of these stinging questions. Questions about Hillary's past even before the White House in the 90s with Bill. None of those questions came up. But yet it's fair game to dig into to Marco Rubio refinancing a house or whatever the heck he did. I don't get it. And Fox News is just as guilty as this. I do think the next Fox News debate will be significantly better. I have a lot of respect for Neil Cavuto and Maria Bartiromo, both Fox Business Network people, and they're both much more fair and mature is the key word than Megyn Kelly.
You know what? I don't have hope for any debate right now because I think the moderators are going to be under such a microscope that we're not going to be really talking about what's said on the stage. We're going to be talking about, oh, look how nice the debate was. And that's really the problem. Since Candy Crowley tried to tell Mitt Romney that he was wrong, every moderator thinks this is my moment to shine.
Gene, but I can't even stomach calling these things debates. Someone Google, college debate or high school debate team and see what videos pop up. The moderator does not ask questions and interrupt the answers. A topic is thrown out, and each side has a set amount of time to state their case and then offer rebuttals. I don't know what we're watching here. These are not debates.
You know what?
We're just hijacking the language.
But how can you have a debate the way that you're talking about when you have 10 candidates on the stage? Because you're going to have one statement and 9 rebuttals?
Well,
how long is that going to take?
This is Reince Priebus again. Fire him. Donald Trump wants to negotiate his own deal, and I agree. Let Donald Trump handle this. If you got 12 candidates left, it's a no-brainer. 6 and 6 randomly picked out of a hat. You shouldn't say if you're scoring less than 1% right now, you don't belong on the stage. There's 12 people left, for God's sake. Let 6 random people on the stage, and then another 6. Put them both in prime time on 2 different days.
Here's the thing. You can't get everybody to interact with everybody the right way. That way, if you split it up. To me, you don't call them debates, you call them forums. Do it like a town hall setting. Have people in the audience submit questions in, specifically to candidates. And if someone really, really wants to talk or whose name is invoked, you let them speak. But you actually have an equal number of questions for everybody in an equal number of time. If you manage it the right way, you can actually get it done. By the way, folks, during our live shows here on We Are America Radio, we have a chat room going on. And we sometimes go to the chat room to borrow some statements, sometimes give credit if the credit is due for what people are saying. Thomas in the chat room is saying that he can't believe he survived the 2 minutes of the debate recap. And Dano is saying that Fox Business is next, and most of them have shown their true colors at Fox against Trump and quote-unquote real conservatives.
Let me just something else that Republicans are guilty of, Gene, and I want to say I've never said this, but I think it was said on our show in the past.
Uh-oh.
So
are you giving credit to somebody else?
No, I'm actually going to throw a dig at you.
Oh, okay, fine. That's the Russ I know.
I'm pretty sure I remember you saying this. If I'm wrong, I stand corrected and I apologize. But I don't believe I've ever referred to the second debates as the kiddie table because I find it extremely offensive.
That was me.
And the media has done this, and a lot of Republican commentators and even radio talk show hosts have said this. I think that's so demeaning. We have governors from great states up there, and no one should be calling it the kiddie table.
I called it the happy hour debate the first time around because it was on during happy hour at the bar.
I prefer that. But I do think it should be random because look at Carly Fiorina. She's up there now in the top tier of candidates. And where did she start out? At the quote-unquote kiddie table. And that was insane to be calling it that.
But is she really a top candidate right now? I think she's still fighting off the I'm a woman phase of candidacy.
I think she's polling higher than Jeb Bush.
Listen, but that means you're polling higher than 2%, and that doesn't really mean anything to me. Especially when the margin of error is 4%.
Let's go to the rhinos in the chat room. Jeb Bush is still their guy, as far as I know, and they all think he's going to rebound as more people drop out of this race.
You mean Jeb the Builder? The new rollout?
It's a new rollout every week with this guy.
Jeb can fix it. Yes, he can.
Yes, he can. You got a leaky sink? Call Jeb.
You got a heater that's on the fritz? You call Jeb.